Are we already entering the transition toward the divine singularity? When we talk about the divine singularity as the moment God changes the structure of reality, it's natural to ask whether anything in our world today points toward that direction. Not predictions, not timelines distorted by religious doctrine, just an honest evaluation of the conditions we're living in. There are several observations that, taken together, suggest we may already be experiencing the earliest tension between the old physics that define this world and the new reality Scripture describes. The first is that the limits of our current understanding have become more visible. For the first time, leading scientists admit openly that the basic framework of our universe is not coherent. Quantum mechanics and relativity cannot be reconciled. Consciousness cannot be explained. Most of the universe is composed of unknown material we cannot observe directly. Even the constants of physics appear to not be as exact as they want to pretend. And much debate even rightfully occurs about the very nature of our cosmology. These are not small cracks. They are reminders that the structure of this world is not ultimate. It behaves like a system nearing the edge of what it was designed to sustain. Another observation is the strain on human institutions. Governments, economic structures, media systems, educational models, and cultural norms are increasingly unstable. This is not for lack of effort on the part of us humans. It is simply the cumulative effect of a world system stretched to its limits. The old order is showing signs of exhaustion. Technology, too, reveals a kind of ceiling. Artificial intelligence cannot achieve real consciousness. Genetic engineering cannot remove mortality. Quantum computing remains bound by unpredictability. Each new breakthrough exposes deeper limitations rather than solving them. These technologies cannot transcend the physics they depend on. Human consciousness shows similar strain, and the known powers that be and their power structures, well, they have no compunction to change any of that, but at least that could be starting to change. Probably another first step towards our shifting consciousness, to my view. Attention is fracturing. Identity is destabilizing. People seem to live in multiple overlapping realities that were never meant to coexist. The pace of information exceeds the human nervous system's capacity to process it in a healthy way. These are symptoms of a world outgrowing its so-called container. There is also a broader, quieter intuition shared by many. And that feeling that something fundamental is shifting. It's more than just a passing thought. People sense that the world is not simply changing socially or politically, or even religiously, but structurally. They feel the fragility of the known systems they once trusted, and they recognize that the conditions required for stability are eroding. This widespread intuition is not alarmism. Actually, it's probably our normal psychological response to living in a creation that's approaching its appointed transition. Scripture speaks of creation groaning, not in panic, but in anticipation. None of this proves we are at the edge of the divine singularity. But it does illustrate that the present world is behaving exactly as we would expect if its physics, systems, and institutions were approaching their natural conclusion. We're not witnessing the collapse of creation, or even a doom and gloom, biblical apocalypse. We're witnessing the beginning of our current reality and its limitations becoming visible. A world and reality that was never designed by our Creator to be permanent is showing why it can't be. The divine singularity will not occur because humanity drives itself to a technological extreme, but because God gloriously replaces the temporary structure of this reality with the eternal one He has prepared. The conditions of our world today simply remind us that such a replacement of our physics is not only His promised one, but gloriously necessary, and we seem to be starting to experience that kind of transition, at least for now, in our consciousness. Glory, glory, His truth marches on.